What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Zach. This is your mental health check in with the number one question: how is your mindset? Please be 100% honest with me, because every day we all go through something, you know. Uh, every day we all go through something, and every day we got a lot of things on our minds. And again, there's going to be times where there's going to be a lot more people with a lot more in their minds than others. Uh, with that said, there's things that people might not understand. You know, people have things in their mind that a lot of people don't understand. And that's understandable not to understand something. But I'm here to tell you this: when you don't understand something, ask. Just ask the questions that you don't understand. Because that when you ask questions, that's how you learn. That's how you learn. And that's why, that's one thing I always tell you. If you have any questions, for me, that you that you're curious about, or that you just want to know. I guess that's the same thing, but if there's anything that you're curious about that let me know. Ask me those questions. I encourage you to ask questions. If if it's something that I said and you may not understand what I said, ask me. Um, or if it's something that I said that you understand, but you still have that questions about it, ask me. Ask me whatever questions you have. I encourage it more than you may know to ask questions. Because again, questions are how you learn. And again, when you ask questions, think about it this way: there's no right or wrong answers, there's no right or wrong questions. And I've saw, at times in my 37 years, I've saw people, that are not sure how to ask questions. And that's, what? That's understandable. But at the same time, remember, there's no right or wrong answers to those questions. There's no right or wrong questions to ask. There's no right or wrong answers. Um, so ask whatever questions that you have. Like I said, I encourage you to ask those questions. Ask me any questions you have. And that just goes, and that, like I said, that goes for anyone, but as well as me here on YouTube. Ask me any questions that you have. That's why I'm here. I'm here to try to help you through anything and everything that you go through or have also been through. Because, like I said, the past can and does, unfortunately, sneak up on us all. And, with that said, a lot of people, more than you can imagine, even more than I can imagine, go through a lot more hell than what so many people realize. And I say that because there's a lot of things that a lot of people have been through or even go through that so many people have not been through. And then again, like I said, you're going to find those people who have been through things like you've been through. But they got through it just flying colors, no problem. And at that point, they can't understand, why you have so much trouble getting through things. There again, I say, we only know someone's name, not their story. But we all have a 100% different, also 100% true story about us. So keep being you. And in case someone's told you today, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you for pushing through everything that you go through, no matter whether it's what it is, no matter what the situation is. I'm proud of you for pushing through everything that you go through. And again, yes, I know a lot of things can be a pain in the butt. I know things can be stressful. But you know what? You're a lot better than you think. You're a lot better than you might realize. And I realize that, like your past traumas, things that you've been through in your past, I realize that can mess with your mindset. And I realize that because, again, I've been through it. I've been through it. And, and I've gotten better, considering what I've been through. But what I'm saying to you is this: the things that you went through in your past. I mean, because I say that because a lot of us have a lot of traumatic things that happened, and again, I know this for a fact because I'm also one of them that went through a lot of things. People with a rough past, no matter how long ago that was in the past, it can still mess. It can still fuck with someone's mind real easy. Because, again, that traumatic experience, or experiences stuck to that person or persons. They knew what they've been through and thought, I don't know about this. And, it's one of those things where those people that's been through a lot of the traumatic things, they know better than what they've been through. They know better than knowing that a lot of things are trauma, that they know a lot better than things that are, traumatizing. But here's the thing. They've been through so much trauma that that's where their mindset's at. They don't like being in that mindset. But that's where their mindset's been, because that's all they've ever known. So my advice is take it easy and is take it easy and watch how you treat people, because how you treat people is, how you treat people says a lot about you. You know, um, how you treat people says a lot about you. Now, how a person acts towards how you treat them. Say you maybe get in an argument with somebody, and maybe you're teasing that person, and you see that person in tears. Well, they're not in tears on purpose. Part of it is their traumatic experiences. I guess it is. Part of it is their traumatic experiences are catching up. Their traumatic experiences are catching up. In other words, you know how that situation is right now is the same traumatic experience that person had in their past. And that's how that goes. So before you might judge how somebody is, think about their traumatic experience and think, wait a minute, this is how they are. But how a person is right now, if you see a person that's maybe down a bunch, it's not because they want to be. It's because the traumatic experiences that they have had in the past that's led, up till right now. And that traumatic, experience is what's got them, where they are. So always remember that traumatic experience, someone's traumatic experiences can catch up to that person or persons at any point. And so when you see a person maybe that's low, they talk low about a certain subject or a certain thing, it's not because they want to talk low about that. It's because that's their traumatic experiences are catching up to them, and that's where their mindset's going. That's where their mindset's is. Why? Because that traumatic experience is all they've ever known. Just like me, when I've told you how I've told you, that I've never been on dates or relationships. Yes, I've tried, but it's always backfired on me, and I've always got stuck in the friend zone. Well, with that said, the traumatic experiences that I've been through my whole life really stick with me, and have stuck with me for my whole life, because that's all I've ever known. So always remember, if and when you see somebody talk about something, maybe you see somebody talking about something traumatic that's happened to them. Remember, yes, that's happened in their past. True. But that traumatic experience has stuck with them. That sticks with them. And a traumatic experience or experiences stick with more people than you may realize. Again, I'm also part of that. Because I've had so many traumatic experiences over time, over my 37 years. As far as the dating and relationship goes, for someone that's never been on dates or relationships, which I get, like I said, I've tried. You know, for the times I've got called fake, when I asked a female out, no offense towards anybody, by the way, that I'm talking here. So no offense towards anybody. But even then, those, believe it or not, are traumatic things that happen. And those things can really stick with people, especially somebody like myself who has been through hell already. And then I get put with that, that was probably about 6 years ago, I'm going to guess. No, maybe 7 years. About 7 years. I'm trying to do math in my head. Of course, you can tell that I'm still not feeling the best. But think about it that way. Whenever, however a person might be, think about the traumatic experiences that person or person has had. Maybe you don't understand that, or you don't understand that situation or situations that person's going through. And again, it's 100% more than okay to ask questions about what you don't understand. Learn a person. I know, easier said than done. But trust me on this one. So again, with that said, yes, again, that's why I'm making this a working paying job, or in the process of that. Because I love to help people. That's how I was born and raised. No, that's not what I've been through. And again, I told you what I've been through. But, that's not what I've been through. But that's how I was born and raised. And with that said again, anytime I can help somebody, you know what, I'm all for it. And that's exactly why I stay here again with doing this YouTube. Because I love to help people. That's how I was born and raised. So keep being you. Questions or comments, please drop them in the comments. Let me know in the comments. If you got any questions or comments, obviously drop them in the comments. If you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button if you would please as well. If you hit that subscribe button, and if you hit that subscribe button and I see that I'm not subscribed to your YouTube channel yet, I will subscribe to you. There's no ifs and buts about it, I promise you. If you subscribe to me, I'm subscribing to you. And I promise you that. If you comment I will respond to your comments. If you comment and I see that I'm not subscribed to you, and I see that you are subscribed to me, I will subscribe to you, for one. And two, I will also reply to your comments. So keep being you. Much love. Keep a smile on your face. And let's get it.